let's go fishing. You know it's really great, let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes, let's go fishing. It's easy when you try, floating on the water with good old Steve and Mike. Floating on the water with good old Steve and Mike.
Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Let's Go Fishing Show. And Mike, it's good to have you back.
Good to be here.
Yes, sir. Mike's got a little bit of crappie film, and I got just a little bit of film the morning of the blast off down at Watts Bar there last Saturday, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it was a poor situation for catching, Mike. But anyway, we'll get into that here in a little bit. Want to say hello to welcome everybody to tonight's show, and it's going to be the crappie film's going to hold us, take care of us, I hope. Mike says he's got about eight or 9 minutes. I think he caught more catfish and stripe than he did anything, but we'll look at the film and see. I want to say hello to Bill and Charlie Irwin, Mike Pennington. Mike, call in after a while and let us know how you're feeling, buddy, would you? I'd like to hear from you. Want to say hello to Jerry Graham and old Jeff Parrott. I talked to him a few days ago.
Yeah.
Jeff's a kayak fisherman. I told him, I said, anytime you want to come by and bring some film, come on. Because we're having a hard time keeping film, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But we'll move right along, and hopefully we'll get some call-ins and some people that's been catching some fish and give us some fishing report, this, that, and the other, and talk to Bill on the way over, and they're pulling a lot of water out of Norris right now. Bill said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're drawing her down there, Mike, and we may have to get a day trip up there or something. We've caught some fish up there in the daytime and in the years past, and these swim baits will be pretty good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we may have to get a trip up there if the weather gets decent. We're still looking forward to the trip to Del Holler right there around Thanksgiving. Hopefully we get to pull that off. Last year at this time we had a good trip. We caught a lot of fish there. Was it on Sunday? Let's see. We caught some fish on Saturday and Friday and Saturday, but then Sunday it rained and Bill and them didn't go and get out. He and Max. So me and you went out, and Mike done real good. So we had a pretty good trip. We're going to try to make another one down there this Thanksgiving, and hopefully do a little better, Mike.
It would be good.
Yeah, if it's not snowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's not snowing, we'll see how that plays out. But do want to thank you all for tuning in, and we'll talk about some things. I'm going to, we had the IUOE tournament there Saturday, and we'll get back into that in a minute. But why it's on my mind, I talked to Glenn Reynolds today, and he had a 250 Pro XS. It did a bit more. When it got uncrated, it was gone. Mm-hmm. He does have a 250R down there right now, and he said I don't know that it'll be here tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Steve's what he told me. He said I've had a bunch of phone calls and offers for the motor and on this, that, and the other, and so he said I don't know that I'll have it tomorrow, and it'll be gone. So we sold the 250 Pro XS, and then he sold a 300 R, and he's got the 250 R still there, and he says he wanted me to pass along to everybody that if if you're thinking that you're going to do something come spring or whatever, you need to be getting things in the line now, because it's going to get harder and harder to get things, and he thinks anyway, and it seems like, he's not far from it. So,
No.
he also still has that. He's got that new Bullet dual console over there at the Ray Street store, and they're out of Kingston. And then he's got that Express, that 19-foot Express with that 200 show on it, and still got that boat. I think it's a real sharp-looking rig myself.
Oh, yeah.
And the Bullet looks good. I just myself, I don't know. I just have to try it. It being a dual console, but it may be just fine. It sure looks good. And
Definitely.
but that's what he's got going on. And get on the website. You can pull up those the videos of the two boats, and got some props that he's out there if you want to try a new prop, to enhance your performance on your boat that you've got. He'd be more than glad to work with you on that. And he's got a couple of those Ghost trolling motors, and
Still selling chances on that one, too.
yeah, they are. They're not doing really well with it, but it's still available. If you want to buy some chances on it, that kind of stuff. So, but do get on their website and just look things over on what's going on there, and you might find something that you like. They'd be more than glad to have you come in and look the boats over, or maybe you may be in the hunt for a new engine.
For sure.
So I've been in Mike's boat a couple of times now, and I'm impressed. Without a doubt, they're quiet running. Gas mileage is real good on those 4 strokes, and they got the power.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you carry all that lead weight around like Mike does, and that thing jumps out of the water on top before it goes a boat length. That's pretty good.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, if you're interested in that, give Reynolds Racing a call, or get on their website and look it over, and then call them. So be glad to have them. Appreciate them. Them Edgemore Outdoors. Dang it, man. Scott and Vance up there, and they're just got a lot of stuff. I mean, rods, reels, line. I spent about 2 hours up there last Friday picking through stuff, and this, that, and the other, and it's amazing, Mike, what all you think you have to have. But I bought some more Ned rigs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you don't like them, but I bought a few more.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good bait for us last Thanksgiving out at Dale Hollow. And let's see, what else? These small swim baits, 2.8, 3-inch swim baits. Bought a few packs of that, and they've really come on with that Ned rig stuff. I mean, they got them with the rattles in them now, and this, that, and the other. I mean, they'll catch fish.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, they definitely catch them fish. There ain't no two ways about it. And I'm looking forward to the trip. I get to rest my left arm and shoulder. Yeah, yeah. This summer has been a rough one, and I don't know. My dang shoulder get to hurting so bad with that 3/4 ounce jig on there. I have to just lay it across my legs there a time or two and rest. So I'm looking forward to putting that spinning rod in my right hand and winding it with my left, and maybe my shoulder won't bother me.
Right.
You know, I'm looking forward to that. Give an arm or my shoulder a little rest, but still catch a bunch of fish. Might even catch a few out there on a crankbait, Mike.
There's a possibility of it.
Yeah, I don't want you to run off from home and forget them.
Yeah.
Like you did last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, got out there, and I've told you before, we called them from Livingston there to see if they needed to stop at the grocery store or anything. No. I said, well, how's the fishing? Oh, they're killing them on the crankbait. I said, what? He said, yeah. I said, I left my crankbaits at home. So we got out there that night and prowled through Max's garage, which he had a bunch of them already there, and we picked 5 of what we thought would work, and that's what we done. So anyway, we'll move right along. Chandler, put that little bit of film I got there for the morning of the tournament, and then we'll get that out of the way, and then we'll save Mike for next. All right. All right, buddy. See you, man. All righty, we're back. The weight, I think Wesley and I caught 6 non-keeper fish. And we missed a couple of blow-ups on a frog, one on a buzzbait, and but we didn't get a keeper one.
We didn't have the first strike on any top water stuff, and I know I didn't have one on a dang spinnerbait whatsoever. And I kept changing up, and finally got down and got a flipping stick out with a Texas rig on it, and started flipping docks with that watermelon brush hog, and had one lick on it, and then couldn't get another strike around that dock, and went on over to the next one and caught a small non-keeper and fished it a while longer and didn't get no more other strikes on it. So I got down and changed colors and put that red one with the green glitter in it. And first dock I flipped in, I caught one, but it wasn't big enough either. And I said, well, maybe I found something, so I went to just casting it in there around where the grass was, where there's a transition from 3 foot and the grass, and it went down to 6 foot there. And shoot, I had a hold of 4 or 5, but they was just all small ones too.
Yeah.
And never did get no dang keeper whatsoever.
Right.
I talked to my buddy there, Ernie, and he said they caught several fish right there next to the steam plant on top water.
Yeah.
But didn't have a keeper either.
Right. Yeah, I know it's tough for us. A little over 9 pounds won it, and I hate that I don't have those guys' names wrote down here. They had 4 fish, and they won the thing. So I was glad that congratulated them, but yeah, it was tough for Wesley and I. I mean, and I caught a couple of small fish on a spinnerbait, and kept throwing in that thing, just knowing this any time I was going to get a dandy, and it never did happen. So anyway, we had a good time. It kind of rained off and on all day.
Yeah, it did that.
And I had 2 of those frog talk rain suits in the boat there, and a couple of them guys come down there, and I wound up loaning one guy a pair of breeches, and then the other guy a full suit, so kept them dry, and that was a good thing. But anyway, we had a good day, just didn't wind up with any good fish. You know, for sure. All right, we're going to go to the crappie film. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. Chandler showed me, put those pictures up there Greg Underwood sent me. Got 3 pictures I want to show, and then we'll move on. There's old Greg with a good fish.
Yeah.
All right, there he is with his grandson, I think, or granddaughter. And then there he is with his other granddaughter. So now I got a nice fish. We appreciate Greg showing them pictures in and sending them to me. So that was great. All righty, let's go to the crappie film and see how many stripe Mike caught.
Didn't get no film yesterday. Caught a few littens is all. And missed several. Anyway, we'll try these crappie a little while. Maybe we can do some good. There can be a lot of people out on the lake. Anyway, get me a minute on, go after them. Remember the sponsors. Let's go fishing. Nothing. Just lost one, about 2 pounds right there beside the boat. Dropped back and caught a small bass there. Beats all I ever seen. Okay, folks, I think I may have got out just a little too deep here. Hit the bottom when I grabbed it, and I think it's a big catfish. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a catfish, all right. God, look kind of what a mess he's made. I only slimed it, but he's tied it up 40 knots. I don't know if I'll ever get that out. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's what we're looking for right there. I only found one. He's about 23 foot. See if we can get another one. Okay, I got another on. Let's see what. Don't you look at it. Huh. Goodness, what a strap. Whew. And there's some nice ones there, ain't there? Whew. Goodness, that's a nice one. Wow. Yeah. That's a real nice one there. Good. I think it's about 24. 24, 25 foot. It's like a whole bunch of them down there. Hooked up on another one here. Let's see what it is. Oh my goodness, it's another one of them big old stripers. Yeah. Stuff around everywhere, tearing up everything. My goodness. Man, that's something else. They're everywhere. Get back there. We got this thing. There's another one of them big old stripes. Goodness gracious. Yeah, doggone, I thought that was crappie. Just a little striped already. I'll try one more. If that don't do no good, I'm gonna move. Get out of these rascals. Alright, let's see what we got here. Ah, goodness, there's another one. This ain't something else. Made a spot. There's too many of these rascals around here. Yeah. Alright, folks, I had two of them on there. That doesn't pull it off right quick. Ah, goodness gracious. Come here. Another dead-bone stripe, I'm telling you. It's just awful, awful. Everywhere you drop, there's a dang stripe. It ain't a catfish, it's a stripe. My goodness. Let's try it again. All right, folks. There's a small one. I had a great big one on there. I suppose was trying to get the camera turned on, and he flipped off. So we'll measure this and see what he is. I don't think he'll make it. We'll check him. Check him and see. He's pretty close. Oh man, wow. He's just brushing the line, but we'll put him back. Maybe we'll get a bigger one. Alright, folks, I got another crappie here. Had one on there just a minute ago. He hung me up and had to go back and re-rig and everything else. Go check him and see. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's a quarter inch longer. That's pretty good. We'll try one more and see what's going on. Hopefully we can get another one out of there. Okay, folks, it's getting a little bit late. I've had a good time. I mean, caught a lot of fish, missed a lot of fish. Things are getting better, at least on the crappie side. Them stripes leave us alone, but anyway, I'm gonna put it on the trailer, and I want you to remember the sponsors. Couldn't do it without them. So, have a good evening, and let's go fishing.
All right, we're back, folks. Mike, tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Well, I put in rockwood, and went across the lake over there and pulled in on some structure over there about 25, 27, somewhere in that range, and fished all around it and never got the first hit. So I said, well, I'm going to go try another place. So I went across the lake over there. But back in there, and there's a tree there. There ain't much left of it there now. 2 or 3 little snags, and dropped down there. One hit, and I thought, that's pretty nice one. It feels like a dang big catfish or something. I was trying to get the camera open and wind and everything at the same time. About that time, there's about a 3-pound largemouth coming up out of the water there. About 18 foot deep there. I said, my goodness gracious. I got rigged back up and dropped right back down on the same spot and wham, hit again. I said, dang, there's another. Set the hook on it, and it didn't feel that big. I said, well, that may be a crappie. Brought up there at the little largemouth. And, I fished around there and caught a couple of small crappie, and all of a sudden couldn't get another strike in that area there. So I thought, well, I'll run across and try another spot down the lake there. And went down there on it, about 24, 25 foot, and caught a good crappie, and dropped back down there, see if I could get another one. Hung up. So I dropped my little knocker on it. That didn't do no good. So I dropped the big knocker on it. Believe it or not, the big knocker hung up.
Gosh almighty.
I was there 30 minutes of jerking and pulling and bouncing back and forth before I ever got that big knocker to come back loose. And I don't know what it was hung in, but it was in the forks or something, because it wouldn't come across through there. And I made a big wide circle of jerking and pulling on it, and finally bounced around on it and got it to come loose and brought it up. And it done cut my line about 2 foot above the swivel, but I had the 2 hooks and the sinker and stuff still on there, and straightened one of the hooks out, but the minnow was still on the second one. But anyway, I got rigged up again there and got things straightened out and dropped back down there and caught another small crappie. And I didn't really even know it was going to be a crappie. I thought it was a bluegill or something, and I got it up there, and it was a small crappie. And I think I threw it back and got another crappie, and it just brushed the line but wouldn't make it. And so I dropped back again, and it didn't no more hit the bottom, and I picked it back up, and I felt it rascal hit, and I set the dang hook and brought up a big bluegill. I said, well, okay, so I went out and started changing, getting deeper, seeing if I could find some more crappie. And when I got out there past 30 foot, everything I fished from there on out to 45 foot was nothing but catfish. And I said, well, I'm going to go back, try something a little shallower. So I run back over to the mouth of that pocket, and there's a good little old tree in there, and I seen all kinds of fish on the depth finder. And man, it wasn't nothing but just one stripe after the other. As fast as you could drop a minnow to the bottom, they'd slam it. I moved around several different places around that point there, and it was just stripe everywhere I looked. And finally pulled around and moved to a different spot there, and caught 2 or 3 small crappie, and I think I had one more keeper. It was about 10 and a half. And I decided to come on to the house, but what got me was when I went down there to buy the minnows, where I used to buying them for $2 a dozen, they was $3 a dozen.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
COVID struck the minnow market.
Yeah, struck the minnow market, and now they went up $1 a dozen.
Yeah.
I guess the gas prices went up in delivery. And all that, you know. Anyway, I said, I guess I'll have to start throwing the trap back in the creek and see if I can get me some more minnows.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, I know up there in your basement you've kept all them old plastic worms and stuff for years, and you've probably got a 55-gallon drum barrel full of it. Why don't you make you a mold there and melt them worms and stuff down and see if you can't make you some minnows out of them?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you've tried a little bit of everything.
That's what them swim baits is supposed to be, minnows.
Yeah. All right. Well, that doesn't sound very interesting. I'll tell you that right now. It
Well,
sounds
the
like
only good thing about I heard that they're starting to get a few supplies in that they hadn't been able to get before. So maybe they got some people back to working a little bit. And you might be able to find a few more baits that they hadn't been able to get for the last 6 months.
Well, I hope so, Mike. I'd like to see everybody get back to work and get back to making plenty of fishing lures.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Gas gets much worse. We may have to stand on the bank, but that beats nothing.
Yeah, that's what I say. I better save that other $1 on each dozen and use it for gasoline.
Yeah. All righty. Well, let me read you all this little text message I got from a good friend of ours, Dan Nykirk. Dan, good to hear from you. Here's what it says. It said, I heard this week that beginning November the 29th, Ladd Landing will be closed to replace the ramp. Expected to reopen in mid-January.
Yeah.
So
It needs fixing.
it needs some fixing. There ain't no two ways about it. It definitely does that. So that's some little bit of. I put in back last winter a couple of times down there, and it was rough. I mean,
Yeah.
potholes there at the end of the ramp, and your trailer drop off one side would be roller sticking up foot and a half out of the water, and the other roller was foot and a half under the water.
Yeah. You know, and that's probably going to keep happening until people quit power loading them boats and blowing all that material out from the end of the ramp.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a high pressure water hose that prop is. And any loose material there besides concrete, it's going to blow it out there.
Well, I'm hoping they get to extend that thing on out a little farther than what it is, and
Yeah.
and I'm hoping that's what they're planning on doing, and get that thing fixed up. I'm glad to hear that. That's wonderful news. I want to thank all the folks down in the Kingston area that helped push this thing, and you know.
Well, that's Kingston City
Yeah.
that's doing that.
Right.
And the one over at the city park there,
Right.
It ain't worth a dime in the winter. It's too shallow, bottom's out, and the one across from it ain't much help either. And even the one over on 58 ain't much.
Yeah, well, it's in the shallow, but when the water's up, they are good boat ramps. There's no doubt about
When
that.
the water's up, you're
Yeah.
all right. But
It's when the lake level reaches winter stage, you don't have near as good a ramp out in the waters that you really need. But anyway, that's real good news. I'm tickled to death, and
Yeah.
thanks again
Yeah.
for anybody that had anything to do with that. We appreciate it. And the fishermen do, and the people that's down there enjoying the water, when they run about or a pontoon boat, it just makes it a lot easier, helps a whole lot.
it sure does.
Yeah. We really do thank you all for that. Whoever's involved in it, we appreciate it.
Your buddy still works for the
I think he
Yeah.
does, yeah. I think Rick does, still works for the
Parks Department?
Parks Department, yeah. And hopefully they can get that thing fixed up and get it going. That's a great facility right there.
Oh, it sure is.
No doubt about it. Well, heck, it's been several years. I can't remember when that place was put in. But
They definitely got better parking there than they have anywhere at the other three ramps.
yeah. Good facility, and close to the gas station, and just right there on the hill, Food City. Pull in there and get your gas, go down there and put your boat in.
That's right.
Yeah. But Mike, he always has to go over in town and get him a biscuit. So
Yeah.
We're tickled to death of that, and I'll go over that again in case somebody missed it. It says, as Dan said, I heard this week that beginning November the 29th of November, right after, I guess that's Monday after Thanksgiving, Ladd Landing will be closed to replace the ramp. They expected to reopen in mid-January. So that's good. That's what, a couple of 3 weeks.
The only other thing I'd like to see them do is on that upriver side of that thing is pile that full of dang on riprap down through there to break that current.
Yeah. Well, sometimes when they're pulling that river hard, you
Make
just
a
have to.
windrow down through there, because when you come in there and you boat, you just go plumb sideways trying to get on there. They're pulling so hard.
Well, now, Mike, you can adjust that a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, get up above the trailer just a higher and then come on in. But anyway, we're like I said, we're really glad that's fixing to happen. And I had heard there back last winter they went over there in Steam Plant Hollow there on that boat ramp.
Yeah.
And done some work in there. Somebody did. I don't know if it's TVA or
Keith.
Yeah, and put a float up there. So that's a good. The only problem with that place is the parking. You have to drive way over in the visitors parking lot after you put your boat in. Once it fills up, I don't know, maybe 8, 10, 12 boats, trailers in there, and then you have to move over to the visitors parking area there to park up. But that's another spot there that's real good, so that's great. That's great. We're glad to hear about it. Dan Nykirk said to tell you hello.
All right.
Yeah, that's some good news. I'm glad to hear that. That's great, wonderful, excellent. We can live with that. We'll fish up north till then, till it gets opened back up.
Well, these other places.
Well, yeah, you'll have to go down there, Rockwood or Hornsby Hollow or somewhere and crappie fish.
When the water goes down, Rockwood ain't that good. It flattens out too easy. And of course, Caney Creek's steep the whole time, but you can get in good there. And, that's the reason I go to Blue Springs or Big Springs or somewhere down through there like that to put in.
Yeah.
Because the ramp conditions are good.
Right.
And Blue Springs is probably one of the best because it's got the right slope on it,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It ain't real steep like Caney Creek, but it ain't flat,
Yeah. Blue Springs is all right to me, but I still got bad feelings about it. I had a brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a prop and I put nearly $500 more into it to get the blades thinned down and all that. The thing was, you could almost shave with it if you wanted to. And I pulled in there to load the boat up. Goosed that motor there to shove that thing up on the trailer there, and I got it out of the water and shoot far mighty. It looked like somebody beat on it with a thing. I mean, it was chewed all to pieces, and boy, I was sick.
Well, they tore all that out and replaced it.
Yeah, it sucked them rocks up through that prop, man. And like I said, it got all 3 blades and rolled one blade back, and I thought, daggone it. I never did tell Sherry about that. I just sent it back up there and got it fixed. And so anyway, I was a bummer there. I learned a quick lesson right quick. So
the worst part that I found was over at Rockwood when they put in, of course, water down just a little bit, but not that much, but them big old long docks, man, them geese had just crapped all over every one of them. You couldn't even hardly find a place to put your foot down.
Yeah, that is a bad situation there. I don't know how you'd stop that.
Get a big dog.
Well, that might be all right. Keep them run off anyway, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And But we're blessed with what we have got around here, and that kind of thing. I know TVA's done some work on several of the ramps at Norris and put lights up, and I will say, we've been blessed. How long? It's been a year and a half now since they put the lights up at Point 19.
Yeah.
And they're burning bright.
Yes, sir. And LEDs they put up more to last a pretty good while.
I haven't noticed the first little bulb in them that was out.
No.
It really makes a difference up there. And one thing, you go in there to back down the ramp, and you got that walkway in the middle. Without them lights up there, it was real easy to get jacked up on the walkway.
Oh yeah, tear your trailer all to pieces.
Yeah, but we really thank TVA for taking care of that. And
what was the lady's name? Aurora.
Yeah. She done
a fine job.
She done a fine job. They sure have. And like I said, the lighting is pretty good there. Anyway, moving right along. We're waiting on somebody to call in and give us. Mike Pennington, how about giving us a phone call over here, man? Let us know how you're doing. While we've got a few minutes here of phone time, and hear from them. Jeff Parrott, if you're watching tonight, when you get ready to come over, just call and let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bring your film.
Yeah.
Show us how to catch them. This gasoline gets real high, Mike. You might have to leave your boat at home, get you a kayak.
Yeah, trolling motor.
Yeah, well, now, them boys paddle, shoot.
Yeah.
Huh?
I ain't got time for that. I got a paddle. I got a trolling motor.
Oh, Lordy. I've talked about rentals and a little bit about Edgemore. I want to thank IOUE for sponsoring this year, and hopefully we can get them back this coming year and keep the show going.
Yeah.
And give these guys something to do right now. Let me check this right here. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I was hoping you'd call in. We just been talking about you. Listen, tell us about the tournament there Saturday. You're on the air, so I couldn't remember the guys' names that won that thing, and a little over 9 pounds they had, I believe.
Yes. Well, I didn't realize I was on the air there, Steve. But anyway, yeah, it was I'm pretty sure, and I don't have my book with me, but he was actually a member out of 181. He's down at the Chickamauga Lock Job working.
Yeah.
He was, I want to say his name is Casey, Steve, and I can't think of his last name, but anyway, I think he said he caught them all down next to White's Creek.
Yeah, I heard him telling about where they caught them at, and they had 4 fish, him and his partner there, which was, as far as I was concerned, was weighed a ton, the toughest the fishing was that day, and the weather conditions and everything. But I couldn't remember their name either, and that's why I wanted to call you and get you on here. I do want to thank you for putting on. I think we had a good turnout, and the weather conditions wasn't the best in the world, but we still had a good time.
Yes, and that's that. I was pleased too. As many showed up as that did. And on a rainy day, it's hard to get them fair weather fishermen to come out, I guess. But,
yeah.
You have to want to go. Be out there a day like that.
Yeah, that's a fact. I'll tell you what, been mentioned though, this coming year we might want to have 2. Let's have one kind of in the mid-spring and then one in the fall like we did this year.
Yes, and that's we're trying something different. I would like to do it at either Loudon or Norris or Melton Hill. I know a lot of the people live all the way in the Hickson, Chattanooga area, so it'd be tough for them to go all the way to Norris.
Right.
But I can't seem to get on any fish down there at Watts Bar much. What's happened to them?
Yeah, well, they're. I know they're a little tougher to catch, or seem like it is. But we, Mike and I for sure, and I know you fished North a lot over the years too. And we just spent the whole summer up there, and just because we felt like we could catch, we was catching the fish, and most of the time, and just laid off of Watts Bar, and heck, 13 miles from my house, I'm at the boat ramp.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can remember the day when I worried every time you went out.
Yeah.
Your Mike, either one was going to come back with a bag full.
Well,
Things have changed, haven't they?
they sure have, David, sure have. Well, man, I appreciate you calling us back. Glad to have you on.
Right.
You know you're welcome
All right.
anytime.
All right. Well, you take care, Steve. Appreciate your show.
All right, buddy. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right. See you.
See you, buddy. All right. Okay. It was good to hear from him. Glad he called us back.
Yeah.
The weigh-in was one of them wet days where you wanted to get in the truck, Mike. Yeah, so we loaded up and got in the truck. And, get headed back towards the house there. But we was tickled to death to see the crowd that we had. And some of them boys was from over in the Knoxville way up that way, and they're in a little old bass club over there. They meet over there, I think he said on Chapman Highway, somewhere along in there, once a month, and they fish a lot on Cherokee and Douglas. Yeah, and which is good places to fish, without a doubt, and it's just was a good crowd. Good to see them all. A lot of those guys, we know of them, but we never hardly ever get to see them.
That's true.
And so we was tickled to death to have good a crowd as we had. See, Mike, what else we got? Still hadn't had that first call in. I don't know if Ed Goff's quit fishing or not. He may have. Yeah, he hadn't let us know what was going on up there. But we do, talking with Bill keeps up with that water level on North a whole lot, and talking to him on the way over here tonight, they really pulling North hard and getting it down there. I think he said it's about 10,000 right now, and so that's they're drawing her down. I don't know that they'll go much below that, but because of the marinas and stuff, moving the stuff out. I mean, back years ago, man, they'd had a lot of the boats down at Andersonville would be out in the creek.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't be back in the slough there. They was way out in the creek. They'd pull that thing down there so low. But when I've talked to Mike, or mentioned that many a time, we got to see the lake when it was way down a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
Back years ago. So they don't pull it down near as much as they used to, but it's went down pretty quick. And every night we've been going, headed up there since midsummer on. They've been running the water.
Yeah, and couldn't seem to get rid of it because it was raining so much.
Raining so much, and they pull it down 2 foot and he'd come up 3. Pull it down 2 and he'd come up 3. So, that lake up there is something else, along with all the other lakes we got. It, especially on the drawdown, the upper reservoirs, they really draw them down.
Maybe we can get lucky there and they get it down far enough where you put you out on the bank and let you hunt them, a couple of hundred of them jigs up you've lost.
Buddy, I sure have lost a bunch of them up there, Mike. That's a fact. Yeah, and not only jigs, but dadgum spinner baits and jerk baits both. Yeah, I don't, there's no doubt. And a couple of them A-rigs, yeah, lost them too. Well, and there's several pairs of needle nose pliers laying around on the bottom up there.
Yeah, a couple of them belong to me.
Yeah, shucks, I don't know how many times I went to cut my line off, tie a bait on, went to cut the line off, throw the dang pliers in the lake and hold to the bait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a pair and watch bar you left down there.
Yeah, I sure did. And so, it's, things like that happen.
Yeah.
And I tied a dang spinner bait on up there one evening and went to toss that line or throw the bait out in the water. Well, I cut the line I just tied on there, went to bait.
Yeah.
Done that several times.
Yeah.
Scissors, throwed scissors in. I mean, needle nose pliers.
Mm-hmm.
Dudley Evans.
Mike, you and Steve got a big deal. I know you got a lot going on over there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disrupt you without having a long day.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Dudley. You can watch Dudley here about 2 or 3 times a week here at Channel 12. He does the news and got a singing group in here and this, that, and the other. They're doing good.
He had a pretty good fella on the other night when I was watching there. He's from down Ray County down there, Dayton or something.
Yeah.
He wrote a song there about stuff being at the bottom of Watch Bar Lake, their farm and everything. When TVA come in,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
took it over.
I hear you, Mike. I hear you. Thing I can't believe we hadn't had a good phone call in here tonight. Anyway, weather, it's going to get colder. What's water temp down there, Mike?
62.
62. We got some cold weather coming in here the next couple of days, and we're going to start this thing again. Out there in that cold weather and the water temperature in the upper 40s, 50 degrees. You want to make sure you got your life jackets and stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
In case you get in the water, you at least got a little flotation to get you back up. And hopefully you can get in your boat and it's I tell you what, without a set of steps or getting back there on your motor and climbing up or letting your engine trim help you get in a boat, you try to get in one up on the side of the boat, I tell you, it's a chore.
You ain't kidding.
I mean, buddy, it's a chore. Yeah.
It's even that in the summertime.
Yeah, it's you don't just, especially us older guys, it's a little hard to get up, climb up there about midways of that boat.
It sure is.
And nothing there to get your feet on or anything else, so I have a step on the back of my boat, and then I use that dang engine.
Oh, yeah.
Put one foot on that and one on that step and pull myself in. I've had to do that a couple of times, and you want to kind of prepare yourself for things like that, and it's a chore in that cold water, I'll tell you for sure. Folks, do remember our sponsors. Let them know you appreciate them keeping us on the air, and hopefully, and I don't know, this weekend, one may get on the water and catch a few fish. We'll just have to see what goes on. A lot of things, time rolls back when? Sunday night?
I think it is.
Yeah. So there's not going to be much daylight left in the afternoon. It'll be gone.
No.
The sun will be laying low. That's another thing, too. It's amazing how blinding that sun will be once we roll this time back in the late evenings, It's, it really is. It gets right in your eyes, and you can't hardly see anything, especially when you come up over a little rise, And so you want to be careful about that. keep you a pair of sunglasses laying handy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for sure.
The good
All
thing
right.
about cold weather is the frost will kill the grass and you'll have to mow
That's
somebody.
that's right. That's exactly right, Mike. For sure. All righty, folks, we're going to get out of here. We'll close the show out with some sponsor breaks. Tim's Tires, remember them. IUOE, Edgemore Outdoors, Reynolds Racing and Marine, and along with a couple of other sponsors there. But God bless you all. We'll see you next week. Hopefully Mike can have some crappies rather than some stripers.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
All right.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, there you go. God bless you all. See you next week. Hey folks, here at Tim's Tires, there's the times that they're open. The day, it's 5 days a week. They're open from 8 to 12:30 on Saturdays. All right, folks, we're inside here in the warehouse. Just wanted to give you a quick look at all the tires and stuff they got. And here we are. There's some four-wheeler tires, lawnmower tires, just a mixture of about any kind of tire you want. So keep that in mind. Then here we get into the light truck, automobiles, that kind of thing. So just walk through here and give you a quick look at what they've got in stock here. I mean, it's it's just, I don't know, man. They must be a couple of thousand tires in here right now, if not more. Sizes, shapes. You truckers, you know the word. This is the place to get your tires for your trucks. And these over here, getting a little bigger sizes, light trucks, heavier automobiles, this kind of thing. And as you can just see back through there, it's just, heck, I don't know, this building's probably about 300 feet, one end to the other, and they're wall to wall. Remember Tim's Tires, folks. That's down here on Highway 27 on your way into Harriman, and get the best deals they're going. So give them a call, price check, whatever you want to, and if you want a special tire that they might not have, you could, they'll definitely get it for you. Tim's Tires. Let people know what we represent.
That's what we're all about. We do try to do an honest day's work for the people, and we've got operators from all over the DOE sites, TVA sites, the outside contractors. We're just about everywhere you see a heavy piece of equipment, good chance that you'll see an operating engineer on it, rather it be Barnhard. I'd like to mention them, All Crane, and all of them that's signatory to us. We have over 100 contractors that's signatory to us, so I definitely appreciate those guys all the way in Chattanooga, Kingsport, Tullahoma, throughout all the way up to Johnson City. So we do cover a big area, and just let us know if we can be any help to the local contractors that come through these areas. We'll definitely send you some people.
All right, David. I appreciate all those good words, and we'll get this on the air, and I want to thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. Hey folks, we're over here at Edgemore Outdoors and got Vance back here. They've got a new selection of, what is this called now, Vance?
This is all queen tackle.
Queen tackle, okay.
It's all tungsten. They got tungsten weights, flipping weights. They got drop shot weights. All the jigs are all tungsten heads. There's flipping jigs, football jigs. There's swim jigs down here too.
Yeah.
That's all of it's tungsten. There's shaky heads right here.
Okay,
That's
all
We
tungsten
just got all
stuff.
this in.
Well, Vance got my attention with one thing. You can take any jig. Vance, get some of
the
those bills.
chatterbait now.
The